Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloriana, and today I wanted to talk about how to use the law of attraction to manifest your ideal reality. And I want to give it to you from my point of view because I have been messing with this law since I was 15, and I have learned some good advice through my own mistakes that I want to share with you. And before I begin, I want to tell you the importance of doing some groundwork before we delve into the law and into manifestation. When I was 15, I was able to manifest a few things because I was really persistent. But the problem was that I didn't know myself. And because I didn't know myself, I manifested things from a place that was very egotistical. And I pretty much was able to create a mess around me. So I feel like it's very important that we know ourselves, that we really understand what it is that we want at a core level, at a heart level, at a soul level. Because it's very easy to get involved in the material world, in the physical world, and to want things that are temporary, that don't really make us fully happy, and that will leave us feeling unsatisfied with life and ourselves because these are not our true desires. I mentioned manifesting with the ego, and if you want to know a little bit more about the ego that I'm talking about, the spiritual ego, I will leave this video here so you can check it out. But knowing ourselves is number one if we want to manifest a happy reality, a fulfilling reality, because anything else will not leave us satisfied. So get in touch with what it is that genuinely makes you happy. Get in touch with your family values. Really get clear on your specific vision of an ideal life. Because your ideal life is going to be different from mine and from your friends and from your family members. And you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be clear and very intentional before you start this process. So with that said, let's get into the law. It is said that our thoughts create our reality. But the truth is that our thoughts are just the tip of the iceberg of who we are. The first principle of the law is that we don't attract what we think, but we attract who we are at a deep level. And if you want to know who you are, just observe yourself. Take a look at what it is that you do, what you think, and what you say from the moment that you wake up to the moment that you go to sleep. We often think that we are, this version of ourselves that we sometimes idealize or sometimes also villainize, but it is often wrong and not true. What we think, what we say, and what we do repeatedly is the vibration that we're putting out into the world. And all of that is determined by the deep beliefs that we hold about ourselves and about the world, and therefore we're constantly manifesting that out into our reality. It's important to become aware of who we are, because from this step of knowing and understanding ourselves, we can then put a list of who we are and then have a list of the person that we want to be and compare and contrast so that we can make the necessary changes in order to become that person. So it is completely necessary that you become very aware of the beliefs that you hold about money, the beliefs that you hold about your safety and security in this world, about family, about relationships, about you and your self-esteem and your value. Because if there is any belief that contradicts that ideal reality, that is gonna manifest before any superficial affirmation or method that you use in order to counteract who you are right now. So I'm gonna be honest with you in letting you know that getting to know yourself is a process, and uncovering layers of what make you you is something that takes time, but that can be done with constant observation. So it is necessary, I would say, to have a journal and constantly check on yourself if you want to go faster. For example, if right now you want to attract money, but you start looking at yourself and you're constantly thinking that money is the root of all evil, that only greedy people make money, that money is the reason for all your problems in life, you may be using affirmations, You may be trying different methods of visualization, but ultimately your deep beliefs are completely counteracting your desired reality. So become very aware of the thoughts, the words, and the actions that you're currently engaging in so that you can have a clear idea of who you are right now and what it is that you're attracting with your current way of being and your vibration. While you're understanding who you are, you can also start to become aware of the person that you want to be. And the best way to manifest a whole reality is to become aware of the different areas of your life. Become aware of the type of person that you want to be, the type of physical body, the type of health that you want to have. Become aware of the type of relationships that you want, from your romantic relationship to your family relationships and friend relationships. Become aware of your career, of the way that you want to make money, of the way that you want to contribute in the world. Become aware of your purpose, what aspects really make you happy and fulfilled as a human being. You really have to be aware of every single little aspect and write it down. And this is really fun because it takes some visualization, some imagining, and you're really calling out your dreams into reality by saying them out loud and not just leaving them in your mind to get lost with every other thought that you have. So now that you have written in your ideal reality, you really want to imagine how that version of you living that life thinks, what they believe about life, what they constantly do, and the way that they speak in this world, the way that they show up, what they say to others, what they say to themselves, every single thing that makes them a completely different person than you. You really want to understand them to the core. And when you're able to understand who they are and you're able to see who you currently are, you are able to make the necessary changes in order to finally start to shift yourself and your vibration. That is how you really start to change. But you really have to make those internal changes, because it's not only the thoughts. The thoughts, like I said, are the tip of the iceberg. As we can see, we are an accumulation of all the words, all the habits, and all the things that we currently are doing. We're not just the thoughts. The thoughts are just a reflection of that. If you want to see what kind of beliefs you have, just take a look at the thoughts that arise throughout different situations that you experience in the day. I really believe that the journey of manifestation is also a healing journey, and it goes hand in hand, because usually when we're trying to rise into higher states of being, we need to let go of whatever is weighing us down. And that takes a lot of self-awareness, a lot of self-forgiveness, and even compassion for the people that may have transferred those beliefs to us because they didn't know better either. Sometimes we're clearing out generational belief systems that have been passed down to us over the years and that have been blocking our entire family lineage. So it's a lot of work to really become aware of what has been holding us back in order to live a better life and give that to maybe our children or whoever is around us that we can pass that on to. So once you have created and compared the ideal version of you in detail, and you have become aware of yourself, and you understand the areas that are not congruent to this new reality that you want to live, now is the time to walk forward with action and with faith. And faith really means that you have a deep belief that you can accomplish this reality. Maybe you can hold on to some sort of divine force that you believe in, like a God, or people like to think about their higher self, but you really need to have the deep faith that you can accomplish this, because if you don't really believe it at the core, then you're never going to get there, because we cannot manifest something that we don't think we can accomplish. So it's also important to understand that we all have different faith containers. And for example, if right now you haven't really been able to make a lot of money, maybe you shouldn't aim for $1 million at once. maybe it's good to start with $100, then $200, then $500, because it is better to go slow and steady and actually making progress than to pretend that you're going to go to the moon right away when you don't believe it at the core. It is very important to understand what we believe and what we're capable of achieving in our minds in this moment. I usually like to have a list of smaller stepping stones that ultimately will lead me to my destination, because first of all, it feels great to check them off. It also gives you certain stepping stones to have along the way that you can reach and keep you motivated. And you are expanding your faith container slowly but surely. It means that you're gonna get there at some point, and you are just progressing along the way with the natural flow of life and of you. And in this process, you can use reprogramming tools like antidotes, like I said. For example, having really strong affirmations that hold a lot of meaning to you. You really have to have meaning behind the words that you're using. You can't just say words really lightly without having a belief in them. But for example, if you right now have a very low self-esteem and you find yourself saying that you can't do something, every time that you catch that thought, you could say, I'm capable, I'm worthy. You know, whatever it is that works for you and that really feels true, and just use it every single time that you feel that energy of you can't do something coming out. I also like using affirmations during the morning, pretty much like a manifesto of who I am, the type of person that I want to be today, the type of values that I have, the type of life that I live, to remind me of that intention of where I'm going today. And it's also good to apply that on another section in your day, maybe during the afternoon and at night before you go to bed, to really keep you in line with what it is that you want. Of course, everything in life has a cause and effect, and that's why I wanted to emphasize that it's very important, again, that you understand your values, that you understand your purpose and your intention for being alive, so that you can create something congruent with your happiness. Make sure that you're constantly keeping these values in line, because it's always easy to want, and to get lost in this wanting place without ever looking back at those deeper needs that we have in our soul and in our hearts. I also recommend that you do not talk about your desires and your plans with a lot of people around you. I once saw this video and I wish I had the name of the person that made it to give him credit. But this man said that constantly telling people about your dreams and your goals is like planting a seed and uncovering it every single time to show it to people. So in the meantime, while you're manifesting, don't tell anyone about what you're doing, because you need to have all the self-belief in your dreams that you can. And a lot of people are not going to see your potential. Many people won't believe in you. And you don't want those energies to contaminate that seed that is gonna be growing, because you're watering it every day, through your affirmations, through your new habits, through your new words, through your new thoughts. And in that process, it is very important to keep your space sacred, to guard your dreams and to keep them really close to you. You don't have to share them with anyone for them to become true. You just need to believe it yourself. And when it's ready, you will naturally show it to the world, because your life will have transformed and it will be inevitable. But there is going to be a great urge to tell everyone around you what you want to accomplish. Make sure that you stay quiet and that you guard your dreams. Like I said, from here on, it's all about taking action, taking intentional action with faith. You cannot just sit there and do nothing, but you have to make sure that you're intuitively led and aligned with this reality that you have designed. You have to make sure that your words really represent the new person that you want to become. That your actions and your habits are also a reflection of that person. For example, you cannot pretend that you're going to be a great dancer if you're just sitting on your couch every day and doing nothing, just watching videos. Maybe for some time you can watch videos, but you need to also act and give yourself that opportunity to actually evolve into that version of you that you're wanting to become. Because sometimes I feel like we just want everything to come to us, and it's important that we take aligned action every single day in order to get closer to that dreamed reality that we aspire to live one day. I really hope that that information was able to give you a clear understanding of what it is that you have to change in your life in order to actually get to that vision and goal that you have. I think sometimes it can be discouraging to think that we do have to take some sort of action, but the thing is that 80% of the work that we do is internal, and 20% is that action that we have to take. So remember to constantly be looking within, to constantly be checking with yourself, checking in with your thoughts, with your beliefs, and your actions will naturally reflect that inner change that is happening within you. And once you really change from within, the outside starts to shift really quickly. So just keep your goals very close to you, know where you're going, and you will get there inevitably if you have faith in yourself, if you take the right action, and if you don't give up. Thank you so much for listening to me today and being here. I really appreciate your time. If you like this video, I would encourage you to subscribe to help me out with my channel, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.